love the people of Quebec. I love, I love Canada. So I think it's important to do my best at least to try and learn French, right? And again, like I was in French immersion as a kid, so I have like a background in it anyways. And then I moved to Montreal, but I've always I've always met people who were French language first, all over Canada, right? Like so it was always I've always had people to practice with, and then I moved to France, and I think when I moved to France, that was like, okay, I should really like clamp down on this and really get my shit together with French, because when I was in France, I did really well actually. Like so how I did all right in France was so to a little backstory to that, I busk a lot. Busking is obviously like you play guitar on the street and like you make some money. That was my main source of income for a while actually, at various times in my life. When I was in BC, I was busking. When I was in Toronto, I was busking. When I was in Montreal, I was busking a lot. Like I was playing in metro stations. I was playing on downtown on the side of the road, like
singing as well, or what?
I was usually with a singer. Like I don't sing all that much. I can do some backup vocals, but honestly, my confidence, like back then especially, it's better now, but back then my confidence wasn't quite there. So like, but when I went to Montreal, okay, so I'll talk about Montreal, then I'll talk about France. So like Montreal, I moved here after I did BC, I went back to Newfoundland so I can work, and because rent in Newfoundland is really cheap compared to the rest of Canada, right? So I went back to Newfoundland and I worked, and with one of my best friends, I hitchhiked actually from St. John's to Montreal. I crossed the island, we got on the boat, and we went to the mainland, and we went from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and onwards to Montreal. And that took a couple of days. Actually, it was pretty quick. Actually, we just made pretty quick time. But so he plays banjo, and he's a singer. So we had
so we had like, singer.
I know, yeah, it's good. So we had like a punk country duo, Punktree, I guess, and that's what we call it. And like,
I feel like that's a coffee shop just waiting to be opened, bro.
Oh, or if not already, man. Like that's that feels like a weed fucking dispensary somewhere, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that works.
Yeah, but what was I saying? It's the joint I smoke. My mind doesn't help my ADD, but so we did pretty good. Like for what we were attempting to do, we did a lot of busking because like I played acoustic guitar for that one. Excuse me, and he played banjo. I'd already gotten rid of my double bass by that point, so like unfortunately, I think I got that right. And but I had guitar, and he had the banjo. That was a pain in the ass to lug, to carry from Newfoundland, all the St. John's, all the way to Montreal. It was heavy, but like all that stuff. But we made it. And yeah, we some days we do really well. We find our good spots. We'd be kind of in the busking community. We'd follow the rules. There were rules for that.
Of course, there's
sign-up sheet. Rightfully so, because this is the hustle, right? Like, and it's you got to. You got to respect each other. Otherwise, it's not gonna work for anybody. And like that's what I learned. And there's corners that people have just been there for ages, and just let them have the corner, man. You know what I mean? Like, but there's also places that.
What was your best day? Best
day? Oh, geez, like $200 easy in a couple hours.
Split in a couple hours, huh?
Couple hours, split two ways. Because if you knew, like Montreal is good for outdoor festivals and stuff. Okay. Like in the city, right? Like Montreal will have stuff out. I mean, not right now, coronavirus, everything's fucked. But like the normally you'd have
buskers.
Oh,
God, that sucks right now, huh?
Like I'm not going near that right now. Like damn, like I wouldn't touch a fucking loony I found on the ground right now. Like just because like and I could be like overreacting, of course, but I just don't want to take risks. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
Yeah, when you don't have to.
I don't want to keep this shit going if I don't have to. Exactly, right? Like, but yeah. So like the really good night is. I'm glad you asked the question. This is a good story. The was a night called. We have something called Nuit Blanche here in Canada. I think it's from France, maybe. Like, I don't really know the history of it, but I know they have it in Toronto as well as in France, Paris, but here in Montreal. And Nuit Blanche is a night where it's for artists and exhibitions to play and show off their art all night, all around the city, outdoor. It's in the winter though, right? Like, if I recall, or like if I recall, it's in a colder part of the year. Anyways, it's been a couple of years since I attended this because
Not the
last
greatest for
year.
guitars, but
No, like or your fingers, like the like especially
fair.
banjo, the strings, especially when they're cold, are like freaking knives, man. Like my buddy, and he'd be playing something called claw hammer style, so he'd be like dum chak, and he'd be hitting this. He has to like hit the drum and then hit of the drum head of the banjo, and then do his strum. And if he hit it the wrong way, he'd slice his finger open.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. I was thinking about it.
And this dude is a trooper. This guy, you can't kill this guy. Like, and like this has happened to him in various places, in various cities, various temperatures, and like there'd be like blood on his banjo, and he'd be like, "No, I'm good, man, I'm good." I'd be like, "Okay, man, keep going." And people would like respect that, and they would throw in like, but people it'd be like 2 a.m. almost. People would be drunk, throwing $20 bills easy. Now our Canadian dollars is not as much as your U.S. dollars, but you know, it's still quite nice.
Close enough, you know.
It's close
it
enough.
really
Like,
is.
You know, I mean, you get the same feeling, I'm sure. Like, yeah, someone, but because we have a lot more coins, we don't have dollar bills, right? So like, I've always wondered how Americans busk, because dollar bills must go poof in the wind sometimes. Like, I can only imagine. Because we don't get bills that often, right? We usually get coins, right? Like people will throw in their pocket change. And we don't have dollars, we have loonies, right? Or toonies. We have $2 coins as well. So
is it really called loonies and toonies?
It's yes.
No, fuck off.
Yeah. No, man.
That sounds like I'm walking into like the Looney Tunes, dude. I'm walking into Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Well, you know.
No. Well, it's just how it is, man. Like I can't explain it. Like,
that's great.
Yeah. So. I think it's named because the loony is a bird, and there was a loony on the loony for a long time, and I think the toonie is just like just came about as a result of that. But yeah, so busking in Montreal, you get a lot of coins. So like if you get bills, that's awesome. But the first thing you got to do, because Canada's windy, well, like I mean Canada's huge, but like everywhere I've been in Canada is windy. Like so I can say that Canada's pretty windy. You have to weigh down the bills with coins, otherwise they blow away. So I've always wondered, like, what do you do if you don't have coins? You know what I mean? Like people in like Chicago must be chasing after their bills all day.
They have
trying to bust. They have to. But okay, so what was I? So